Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Morrowind with me, Veriax, and our sorcerer, summoner mage, Karish. Very nice. We'll just have that as a screenshot, just in case nothing else happens in this episode. So we're here in the vicinity of the Dwemer Fortress ruin thing of Kemel-Ze. And there's the... oh god, there's the way in, just there. But we're not going to go in just yet. I've had a bit of a think about it, and Karish has stood here for a week, and we're going to delay going in by a little bit because there's two things I want to do beforehand. So this might be a longer episode because of it, especially one of them. The first one, basically, is that we have no inventory space. So rather than explore a new ruin that may well have some artifacts and stuff that we can't take out, we're going to see if we can upload these somewhere, you know, like these books and such, and free up some space so we can actually loot the place and collect some artifacts and collectibles and everything like that. Secondly, there is a book in the game called The Ruins of Kemel-Ze, which I want to read before we go in there. Now, I have found this book off camera, and it is a long book. So what we'll do is, I'll find it first, and I'll read it. And I'll put a timestamp in the description and on the video and such if I can. If people want to skip the book, because it's like 28 pages long. But I think the character would want to research this place before he goes into it, so he knows what he's getting himself in for. Because we've been caught unawares before, and so since we can plan, we will. So I've kind of done this before, off camera, but we're going to mark here. We're going to mark here. So we can come back, and then we're going to travel back over to Helnim. So that's what we'll do. We'll just do there. So this is a little bit meta, but it'll save a lot of time, trust me. So we're going to go and find this book. Now there's an archaeological society somewhere around here, and they have copies of it, and it's something that I missed last time. So I think it might be here actually. I think this is the back way, because this is where the people are sleeping. It's a bit embarrassing. We go down here, and then I think this is all locked and stuff. I don't really... There's some things here that we can look at. Some old rocks. Now, in this... Oh, there was a... to interact with there. Oh, it's just these thingies in it. Now, sadly, this one doesn't seem to have any descriptions with the exhibits like the other one did, but here we go. I think this is the front entrance, so this is where you're supposed to come in. But it's just the same as the back entrance, isn't it? So you wouldn't really know. But, oh, visitor. I am Perez Miller, Secretary of the Imperial Archaeological Society here in Helmin. Do you have any questions? So yeah, I'm going to ask about Kemel-Ze, and she'll say, oh yes, we have some books up the stairs, just go up here and then go here, and there's a bookcase and we have loads of copies of the book just on the shelves, and oh look, they do. So there they are. So I'm going to read one of these, so it might take a little while, but you see it's pretty long, but it will be I think quite useful to our research. So that's what I'm going to do. So hope you guys watch this, because it may be quite useful, but otherwise I'll see you at the end of it. There'll be a link in the description of when I finish reading this. So, The Ruins of Kemel-Ze by Roland Nordson. With the acclamations of fellows in the Imperial Society still ringing in my ears, I decided to return to Morrowind immediately. It was not without some regret that I bade farewell to the flesh pots of the Imperial City, but I know that the wonders I had brought back from Raled Mackay had only scratched the surface of the Dwemer ruins in Morrowind. Even more spectacular treasures were out there, I felt, just waiting to be found, and I was eager to be off. I also had before me the solitary example of a poor bannerman, who was still dining out on his single expedition in Black Marsh 20 years ago. That would never be me, I vowed. Yeah, so you're not just gonna live off one success. You're not gonna be a one-hit wonder. Okay, so this Rollard, you know, and you know, Karish can see some kinship with Rollard here. With my letter from the Empress in hand, this time I would have the full cooperation of the Imperial authorities. No more need to worry about the attacks from superstitious locals. But where should I look next? The ruins at Kemel-Ze were the obvious choice. Unlike Reled Mackay, getting to the ruins would not be a problem. Also known as the Cliff City, Kemel-Ze lies on the mainland side of the Vardenfell Rift, sprawling down the sheer coastal cliff. Travellers from the east coast of Vardenfell often visit the site by boat. It can also be reached overland from nearby villages without undue hardship. But it's also worth noting, and I'm not going to pause after every paragraph, don't worry, but that this is probably, likely, there might be some fan art and stuff out there, but this is probably a main source of what the modders had to go on when they built Kemel-Ze. So it's interesting how they're going to interpret what is written here. Once my expedition had assembled in Seyden, with the usual tedious complications involved with operating on this half-civilized land, I like that, we set out for the village of Marog near the ruins, where we hoped to hire a party of diggers. My interpreter, Tuen Panai, an unusually jolly fellow for a dark elf who I had hired from Seyden at the recommendation of a local garrison commander, ensured me that local villagers would be very familiar with Kemel-Ze, having looted the site for generations. Oh, that's a shame. Incidentally, Tenpenny, as we soon came to call him, to his consistent amusement. Oh, Twen Panny, Tenpenny, ha! Proved invaluable and would recommend him. And I would recommend him without hesitation to any of my colleagues who were planning similar expeditions to the wilds of Morrowind. At Marog, we ran into our first trouble. The headman of the village, a reserved, elegant old fellow, seemed willing to cooperate, but the local priest, a representative of the absurd religion they have there, worshipping something called the Tribunal, who they claim actually live in palaces in Morrowind, was fervently against us activating the ruins. He looked likely to sway the villagers to his side with his talk of religious taboos, but I waved the Empress's letter under his nose and mentioned something about my friend, the garrison commander at Seyden, and he quietened right down. No doubt this was just a standard negotiation tactic arranged among the villagers to increase their pay. In any event, once the priest had stalked off muttering to himself, no doubt calling down curses upon the heads of the foreign devils, we soon had a line of villagers eager to sign onto the expedition. While my assistant was working out the mundane details of contract supplies, etc., Master Arum and I rode on to the ruins. By land, they can only be reached using a narrow path that wind down the face of the cliff from above, where any mishap threatens to send one tumbling into the sea foaming around the jagged rocks below. The city's original entrance to the surface must have been in the part of the city to the northeast, the part that fell into the sea long ago when the eruption of Red Mountain created this mind-bogglingly vast crater. After successfully navigating the treacherous path, we found ourselves in a large chamber, opening to the sky on one side, disappearing into the darkness on the other. As we stepped forward, our boots crunched on piles of broken metal, as common in dwarven ruins as potsherds in other ancient sites. This was obviously where the looters brought their finds from deeper levels, stripping off the valuable outer castings of the dwarven mechanisms and leaving their innards here, easier than lugging the intact mechanisms back up to the top of the cliff. I laughed to myself, thinking of the many warriors unwittingly walking around Tamriel with pieces of dwarven mechanisms on their backs. But that, of course, is really what most dwarven armour is, just the armoured shells of ancient mechanical men. Is it mechanisms? I sobered when I thought of how exceedingly valuable an intact mechanism would be. This place was obviously full of dwarven devices, judging from the litter covering the floor of this vast chamber, or had been. I reminded myself, looters had been working over this site for centuries. Just the casings alone would be worth a small fortune, sold as armour. Most dwarven armour is made of mismatched pieces from various devices, and its reputation for being bulky and unwieldy. But a match set from an intact mechanism is worth more than its weight in gold, for the pieces all fit together smoothly and the wearer hardly notices the bulk. Of course, I had no intention of destroying my finds for armour, no matter how valuable. I would bring it back to the Society for Scientific Study. I imagined the astonished cries of my colleagues as I unveiled it at my next lecture and smiled again. Yeah, Karish likes this guy. Okay, so there's going to be a chamber full of metal, scrap metal, basically. Okay. I picked up the discharged gear from the piles at my feet. It still gleamed brightly, as if new made, the dwarven allies resisting the corrosion of time. I wondered what secrets remained hidden in the maze of chambers that lay before me, defying the efforts of looters, waiting to gleam again in the light they had not seen in long eons, waiting for me. It remained only to find them. With an impatient gesture to Master Arum to follow, I strode forward into the gloom. Master Arum, Tenpenny, and I spent several days exploring the ruins, while my assistants set up camp at the top of the cliff and hauled supplies and equipment from the village. I was looking for a promising area to begin excavation, a blocked passage or corridor untouched by looters that might lead to a completely untouched area of the ruins. We found 2 such areas early on, but soon discovered that the many winding passages bypassed the blockage, gave access to rooms behind. Nevertheless, even these outer areas, for the most part stripped clean of artifacts by generations of looters, were full of interest to the professional archaeologist. Behind a massive bronze door, burst from its hinges by some ancient turmoil of the earth, we discovered a large chamber filled with exquisite wall carvings, which impressed the even-jarred Tenpenny, who claimed to have explored every dwarven ruin in Morrowind. They seemed to depict an ancient ritual of some kind, with a long line of classically bearded dwarven elders proceeding down the side walls, all seemingly bowing to the giant form of a god carved into the front wall of the chamber, which was caught in the act of stepping forth from the crater of a mountain in a cloud of smoke or steam. According to Master Arum, there were no known depictions of the dwarven religious rituals, so this was an exciting find indeed. I set a team to work prying the carved panels from the wall, but they were unable to even crack the surface. On closer examination, the chamber appeared to be faced with a metallic substance with a texture and feel of stone, pervious to any of our tools. I considered having Master Arum try his blasting magic on the walls, but decided that the risk of destroying the carvings was too great. Much as I would have preferred to bring them back to the Imperial City, I had to settle for taking rubbings of the carvings. If my colleagues in the society showed enough interest, it was sure a specialist could be found, perhaps to a master alchemist who could find a way to safely remove the panels. Found another curious room at the top of a long winding stair, barely passable due to the fall of rubble from the roof. At the top of the stair was a domed chamber with a large ruined mechanism at its centre. Painted constellations were still visible in some places on the surface of the dome. Master Arum and I agreed this must have been some kind of observatory, and the mechanism was therefore the remains of Dwarven telescope. Yeah, Karish has actually seen one of these, so he's like, eh. To remove it from the ruins down the narrow starry would require its complete disassembly, which fact would no doubt have preserved it from the attention of looters. So I decided to leave it in place for the time being. The existence of this observatory suggested, however, that this room had once been above the surface. Closer examination of the structure revealed this was indeed a building, not an excavated chamber. The only other doorways from the room were completely blocked, and careful measurements from the top of the cliff to the entry room and then to the observatory revealed that we were still more than 250 feet below the present ground level, a sobering reminder of the forgotten fury of Red Mountain, and that's quite a big shift. This discovery led us to focus our attentions downward. Since we knew approximately where the ancient surface lay, we could rule out many of the higher block passages. One wide passage, impressively flanked with carven pillars, particularly drew my interest. It ended in a massive rock fall, but we could see where looters had begun and then abandoned a tunnel through the debris. With my team of diggers and Master Arum's magery to assist, I believed we could succeed where our predecessors had failed. I therefore set my team of dark elves to work on clearing the passage, relieved finally to be beginning the real exploration of Kemel-Ze. Soon, I hoped, my boots would be stirring up dust that had lain undisturbed since the dawn of time. With this exciting prospect before me, I may have driven my diggers a bit too hard. Tenpenny reported that they were beginning to grumble about the long days, and that some were talking of quitting. Knowing from experience that nothing puts hard back into these dark elves like the taste of the lash, I had the ringleaders whipped, and the rest confined to the ruins until they had finished clearing the passageway. Thanks Stendar for my foresight in requisitioning a few legionaries from Seyden Neen. They were sullen at first, but with the promise of an extra day's wages, they soon broke through. When they broke through, they soon set work with a will. Okay. While these measures may sound harsh to my readers back in the comforts of civilization, let me assure you that there is no other way to get these people to stick to a task. The blockage was much worse than I first thought, and in the end it took almost 2 weeks to clear the passage. The diggers were as excited as I when their picks finally broke through to the far end of the emptiness, and we shared a round of the local liquor together, a foul concoction in truth, to show that all was forgiving. I could hardly restrain my eagerness as they enlarged the hole to allow entry into the chamber beyond. Would the passage lead to the entire new levels of the ancient city filled with artifacts left by the vanished dwarves? Or would it be only a dead end, some side passage leading nowhere? My excitement grew as I slid through the hole and crouched for a moment in the darkness beyond. From the echoing sounds of the stones rattling beneath my feet, I was in a large room, perhaps very large. I stood up carefully and unhooded my lantern. As the light flooded the chamber, I looked around in astonishment. There were wonders beyond even my wildest dreams. The light from my lamp filled the chamber beyond the rockfall. I looked around in astonishment. Everywhere was the warm glitter of dwarven alloys. I had found an untouched section of the ancient city. My heart pounding with excitement, I looked around me. The room was vast, the roof soaring up into darkness beyond the reach of my lamp. The far end lost in shadows with only a tantalizing glimmer hinting at treasures not yet revealed. Along each wall stood rows of mechanical men, intact except for the one oddity. Their heads had been ritually removed and placed on the floor at their feet. This could only mean one thing. I had discovered the tomb of a great dwarven noble, maybe even a king. Burials of this type had been discovered before, most famously by Ranson's expedition at Hammerfell, but no completely intact tomb had ever been found. Until now. But if this was truly a royal burial, where was the tomb? I stepped forward gingerly, the rows of headless bodies standing silently as they had for eons, their disembodied eyes seeming to watch me as I passed. I had heard wild tales of the curse of the dwarves, but I'd always laughed it off as superstition. But now, breathing the same air as the mysterious builders of this city, which had lain undisturbed since the cataclysm that spilled their doom, I felt a twinge of fear. There was some power here, I felt, something malevolent, that resented my presence. I stopped for a moment and listened. All was silent. Except it seemed I heard a faint hiss, regular as breathing. I fought down a sudden urge to panic. I was unarmed, not thinking of danger in my haste to explore past the blocked passage. Sweat dripped down my face as I scanned the gloom for any movement. The room was warm, I suddenly noticed, much warmer than the rest of the labyrinth thus far. My excitement returned. Could I have found a section of the city still connected to a functioning steam grid? Pipes running along the walls, as in all the sections of the city. I walked over and placed my hand on one. It was hot, almost too hot to touch. Now I saw that in places where the ancient piping had corroded, small jets of steam were escaping. The sound I had heard. I laughed at my own credulity. I now advanced quickly to the far end of the room, giving a cheerful salute to the ranks of mechanical soldiers who had appeared so menacing only moments before. I smiled with triumph as the light swept back the darkness of centuries to reveal the giant effigy of a dwarven king, standing on a raised dais, his metal hand clutching his rod of office. This was the prize indeed. I circled the dais slowly, admiring the craftsmanship of the ancient dwarves. The Golden King stood 20 feet tall under a freestanding domed cupola, I think, his long, upswept beard jutting forward proudly as his glittering metal eyes seemed to follow me. But my superstitious mood had passed, and I gazed benevolently at the old dwarven king, my king, as I had already begun to think of him. I stepped onto the dais, get a better look at the sculpted armor. Suddenly, the eyes of the figure opened and it raised a mailed fist to strike. I leapt to one side as the golden arm came crashing down, striking sparks from the steps where I had stood a moment before. With a hiss of steam and a whir of gears, a giant figure stepped ponderously out from under its canopy and strode towards me with frightening speed, its eyes tracking me as I scrambled backwards. I dodged behind a pillar as the fist whistled down again. I had dropped my lantern in the confusion, and now I crept into the darkness outside the pool of light, hoping to slip between the headless mechanisms and thus escape back to the safety of the passageway. Where had the monster gone? You would think that a 20-foot golden king would be hard to miss, but he was nowhere to be seen. The glittering lamp only illuminated a small part of the room. It could be hiding anywhere in the gloom. I crawled faster. Without warning, the dim ranks of dwarven soldiers in front of me went flying as the monstrous guardian loomed before me. He had cut off my escape. As I dodged backwards, blow after blow whistled down as the implacable machine followed me relentlessly, driving me into the far corner of the room. At last, there was nowhere left for me to go. My back was to the wall. I glared up at my foe, determined to die on my feet. Huge fists lifted for one final blow. The room blazed with sudden light. Bolts of purple energy crackled across the metal carapace of the dwarven monster, and it halted, half turning to meet this new threat. Master Arum had come. I was about to raise a cheer when the giant figure turned back to me, unharmed by the lightning bolt turned by Master Arum, determined to destroy its first intruder. I shouted out, "Steam! Steam!" as the giant raised its fist to crush me into the floor. There was a hiss and a gust of bitter cold as I looked up. The monster was now covered with a shell of ice, frozen in the very moment of dispatching me. Master Arum had understood. I leaned against the wall with relief. The ice cracked above me. The giant golden king stood before me, the shell of ice falling away, his head swiveling towards me in triumph. There was no stopping this dwarven monstrosity, but then the light faded from his eyes and his arms dropped to his sides. The magical frost had worked, cooling his steam-driven energy. As Master Arum and the diggers crowded around me, congratulating me on my narrow escape, my thoughts drifted. I imagined my return to the Imperial City and knew that this would be my greatest triumph yet. How could I possibly top this find? Perhaps it was the time to move on, recovering the fabled Eye of Igonia. Now that would be a coup. I smiled to myself, reveling in the glory of the moment, but already planning my next adventure. That was good to know. Thanks for that. Thanks for letting me read that. Okay, so in summary then, if any of you skipped that, those were the reports of someone who had been to Kemel-Ze in an expedition. They looked around for a bit. It's already been looted by generations of looters, but they found, through digging through an ancient passageway that took 2 weeks, an ancient tomb for a king. But inside was a mighty golem thing, which they eventually beat thanks to magic. Ice cold magic, and because it was steam powered. And yeah, he did really well, so well done to him. Now, we're going to go back to the tomorrow. And I am not able to move. Come on, there we go. So we're going to go to... Okay, Divine Intervention will work now. Almora! Drop a load of stuff over at Kai's place. Restore our Magicka. Go back to Kemel-Ze and get exploring. I'm pretty sure that, you know, if that dude can find somewhere, then so should we be able to. I mean, that whole sort of story, I think, will have inspired Karish as well to go there. And indeed, you know, the wanderlust with him to find things that no one else has found before type thing, I think is something that really appeals. I say Kai's place, it's sort of our place, isn't it? Because he's not there anymore. So, sort of ours. for now. We're house sitting. Really badly, because we're never there, but you know. I wonder if we could find a copy of the book. I'll quickly pop into the bookseller here. I'm not going to make too much of a thing of it, but, you know, so we can bring it with us and sort of cross-reference some of the areas that was mentioned. Hello. Yes. Disable bull. Yeah, because that's just silly having that there. So we'll start a little collection of stuff down here now, like these. We'll keep the jokes. I need them. Like Nerevar, Moon, and Star. Alright, come on. And we've got a few other things like the 7 Visions and the Stranger and 7 Curses, and Lost Prophecy. Oh, that's really taking up too much space anyway. So we'll keep the jokes. We'll sell this here. That's all it's really good for. Unless I could use it to restore something, but I think everything that we've got is pretty much kind of sorted. So we can sell that for a grand or whatever. There's got to be a shop here that'll buy that. We'll drop the Diamond Dagger and the Silver Dagger because the last one's. And yeah, that leaves us with a little bit more space. But there's got to be some other stuff we can drop that, you know, isn't clothes. Although I look at this and there really isn't. I mean, it's because of all these, though, isn't it? We have a lot of potions now, which is no bad thing at all. We might also buy some better cutlery now that we're here. Let's see if we can find somewhere that we can sell these soul gems at. I won't sell the greater soul gem, but I will sell the. Hang on, I will sell the. Yeah, I won't sell the greater one, but I will sell the grand one. And then we'll go back.
You may speak.
Thanks. Very, very good of you to say that. Now, Karish doesn't have an expedition of Dark Elves with him, but I do have Boney and Squishy to do any legwork for me. On here, because I do believe you have quite a bit of gold, so if I sell you this... Okay, fair enough. I don't think I have any decent scrolls or anything, do I? Have you got anything that I kind of missed? That's fairly good, but only for a little bit. Okay. Fine then. Right, we'll just pop into the bookstore. Oh, sorry, am I boring you? Have you got the Ruins of Kemel-Ze at all? Yeah. Oh. 69. Oh, I say. Soul Gem, then Soul Gem, Soul Gem. We don't really have, I suppose, yeah, the Mage's Gold, that Wood Elf. She'll buy it.
Yes,
So I don't want to spend too long on this, but I do want to have space to collect stuff with. So hello. I have, okay, perfect. That for you. More gold? Yeah, we're sort of running a little short. I mean, compared to how we used to be, we got loads of gold. Use this? No, I can't. So, not spells, thank you. I need to travel back to Sadrith Mora. And then we'll just restore our Magicka, and then I'll recall back to...
Let's hear it.
Kemel-Ze, and then... Yes! We'll go exploring. Now, we do have that side quest. But, I'm not going to do it. I think Karish is far too excited to find someone who's going to the pub too often. Yeah, it's like, well, why should Karish care about that?
Go ahead, stranger.
I mean, the reason I want to kind of maybe do it, kind of maybe, is because it's new. You know, it's part of the mod, the expansions and everything. So, I'll look in there, see if I've got anything that I can actually drop, but there's nothing really there. So, purely because I haven't done it before. Oh, I didn't buy any silverware, never mind. I'm excited. I'm excited to go to Kemel-Ze. We've got this amulet there, but nothing's really... bring us down too much. It's just the whole bulk of all the clothes that we have. We have dropped a load of common clothes, so I think that we'll go in there wearing decent clothes, but oh yeah, it's because of this though, isn't it? That's what it is. But it's got a really nice effect on the video, so I'm leaving that. Even though I could easily, you know, drop it by another £20 ish. So we're just gonna go. Yeah, because some of the ruin is underwater as well, which is going to hamper Karish somewhat. We don't have an underwater sort of spell yet. Submarine spell. With that money I got, I could maybe don't get that, but now this is using the same entrance as everybody else, and I don't think it's the same entrance as what was described in the book. Indeed, there is an entrance here. Alright, so go up there. As the book said, I think it was to the northwest. That's why I brought the book, so I can check such things. But let's try up here. And this looks important. A major bridge. I have plenty of restore magic potions, and it wouldn't be a shame if I used them, because then it'll give me some inventory space. Aha! This looks promising, and we have a little expedition here. Hello. Yes, they have legionaries here to look after the diggers. Hello, Cirrus Terrius. I believe I've seen a high elf in such a grand outfit in some time. Well, thank you for that trade. You're one of the guys helping Daran Flavius around the ruins. I'm taking a break right now. Too long in there does things to your head. Who's Daran Flavius? The boss is inside the ruins somewhere. Okay, so there's already an expedition here, which is kind of disheartening. Right, so I'm not going to trust these because obviously the guard's guarding them. If he's got something to say, or is just, yeah, usual text for that. We are going to put on a different robe. In case this guy doesn't like the Telvanni. We're going to just a regular kind of expensive one if we've got. So we look decent. And we'll put on our adventuring boots, which are not them. Here we go. Asta. Whether this is the same area as where... Jokes. All the time for jokes. Rollard came in. Not entirely sure. So, the city's original entrance to the surface must have been in the part of the city to the northeast. Okay, road to the ruins. By land, they're going to be reached using a narrow pass that wind down the face of the cliff from above. Enemy step. Okay. Found ourselves in a large chamber up to the sky at one side, disappearing into the darkness in the other. Well. We'll have a little look around then, shall we? Not expecting to find anything in these chambers, but maybe Karish, you know, with his higher intellect, will spot something that these amateurs... Let's go up first, because it doesn't seem like the upper levels are too extensive. Going to take a little while to navigate through all this, isn't it? Where to start, Karish? Where to start? That's where we came in. We're going to get lost in here. Aha! Whoa there! Don't worry about dark people like that. You scared me something awful. Yeah, I'm a fighting man. I'm helping Daran get through these ruins safely. Okay, so we've got to find this Daran. You're looking for the boss. Our new base is in a big chamber a short way from here. Durzan, I think we were told it's called. To get there, head out of this room, turn right at the big corridor, continue down there, down the stairs, and then turn right down a second flight of stairs. Head through the doors there, go straight across the large corridor you come to. It's just there. I'll find it eventually. Again, these are all their lies, so we're going to touch that. I mean, it's fair enough. It's probably down here, but let's go up here. But you would have thought that these will all be empty. You never know what these Philistines will miss. Seems very bright in here, even without the... If I take this off, I'm going to put it back on, don't worry, but it doesn't seem that bad. But it probably is. So... I'll leave it on. So you guys can get the comparison. Bells of Scarab's Pass. Aha! Dark Elf Diggers, probably. Hello. What are you doing? Fairly ordinary guy. Work at a bar most of the time. Just because I'm here doesn't mean I'm some kind of expert explorer, you know? Okay, alright.
What is this regarding?
Trying to explore here. Back home, I'm just a commoner, but here I like to be an adventurer. Okay, so you two seem to be like just a couple who's just out here for a day trip. So Karish isn't feeling particularly threatened by anything right now. You know, he's not feeling any sense of danger. Don't think I'll even bother looking at these anymore. Okay, that's maybe worth looking at. I'm very curious to meet this other adventurer dude who's here, though. One who seems to know what he's doing a little bit. And yeah, this is quite a lot to this place, isn't there? I didn't expect it to be a small dungeon, though. Ah, someone needs to maybe get on this one. People felt it's not really worth doing, though, it seems. Maybe I should have paid attention to the instructions I got. Right, well, he didn't mention I might have missed him completely and gone a different direction. And again, I'm not that fussed about finding the dude. Right, so before we go in there, let's go this way. So I'm kind of wondering, like, if and how they've implemented any areas of this ruin that haven't been explored. But I don't have an open spell. It does look like there's something through there. Ah, you know what? I really should have done that. Maybe it's a levitation thing, you know, which I can do, but I doubt it's a rare spell to be able to cast. Yeah, it looks like no one else has ever come here who can open that door, and Karish is just going to add to that list. I think that's something quite vexing for him, honestly. It is very easy to get out of here, though. Yeah, I can't do it, can I? I'm not even going to bother looking. I know I can't. I'm going to look, but if I'd make a spell called Skeleton Key, and that is someone who can do spell making, you know. Oh, well, this I can do though. Use this on it. There's definitely something through that door. Don't know if I'm annoyed enough not to go back. I don't know. Okay. Oh. Flanked by pillars? Oh, this is really nice anyway. It doesn't look like it's the same place that was described in the book. Okay. Here's a base. Wow, 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 wow. Hello. Hello.
Ah, hello.
Hello.
Did you want something?
Well, you trade? I'm mage by trade. Here at Ruins of Kemel-Ze, I become the local expert on drum machinery. I'm always called whenever something new has been discovered. That hasn't happened for a long while now, though. The biggest new discoveries took place about a decade or two ago. We're slowly but surely making progress. Here on business, person you want is Rennick Karish, leader of the expedition. She has a little office just off the second floor. One can spend a lifetime of study here. So much to look at, so much to explore. Don't know if I have that long. Little secret. Some of the more complex pieces of German machinery you'll find in these ruins require German scholars to hearers. Lies, do they? Is that a real thing? It is, actually, yeah. It is pretty fascinating. Guard. Man. So this is like a hub that goes off to all the different areas. Wow. That's just where I came in. Is it? Yeah, it is, but a different way, because I'm sure I was through there before. Yes. The Karish is quite irritated that all these people are here. No, not that one. Really quite annoyed that there's actual people around here who dare to find things before him. Maybe that'll make it, man, even more determined to find new things. But it does look like we're going to have to spend a very long time here, like a couple of episodes. I might try and map it all out and everything, and maybe get a new place, like find a area that's relatively out the way to make our own base. Our problem, of course, is that, you know, the transport network that we need along... Where's no one's been through there? Expeditions such as this. We need an Imperial Shrine. If someone's made an Imperial Shrine here, that's brilliant. But what's it, Gaul's Karish? That is something we rely on, is, you know, for Magicka. There's Vels, even more stuff. Alright, let's go up to the second floor. But it does depend whether the person who wrote that was British or American as to which floor that actually is. Oh. It's all a bit rather confusing. This is, oh, look. The whole town here. Hi, Corvus. Looking to go further to ruins, be warned that things can get slightly more dangerous from here on in. Oh, well, good. Because, I think what impresses me most about this place is, despite its near constant exposure to the elements, the hands of the locals and archaeologists alike, still remains its eerie, majestic charm. Yes. I suppose, if you want to say that as a good thing. Hey, Carissa. Akasa. Alchemist. I like how they all have their own dialogue. Okay, yeah, this is who I'm supposed to be looking at. Hello, High Elf. I don't believe I've seen you here before. This is headquarters of the Imperial Archaeological Society, and I'm the leader of the exploratory team here. You need something? Or you're just a tourist? No, I'm no tourist. I don't seem to have anything. Like to say to you in terms of quests or whatever, but Drumel, literally the deep counselled and secretive people, are the fabled lost dwarven race whose ruins and splendid artifacts are scattered across Tamriel. Elves use the term Dwemer, connotating various deep, delving, profound, and close counselling. Imperial uses is Dwarven, derived from the fable that the affectionate regard of giant races and their little Dwemer friends. So I don't think you're going to tell me anything I haven't already. No, which is a shame, because I spent all this time looking for you. And your trade and latest rumours, I suppose, is what I should be going for. Kemel-Ze. Although its value in terms of things to be taken has become virtually zero for thousands of years, this place is so valuable because simply by being here, we can learn a lot about Dwarven culture and lifestyle. I'm afraid it's been a while since I lost contact in the Hellnim branches of our society, so I have no idea what's going on in the outside world. The Blight could have swept all over Morrowind, and I, for one, would not know about it for months. The Dwemer certainly built their strongholds to last. If you want to go exploring Dwemer ruins, wise to take a couple of intervention scrolls with you, or have an experienced mage, you know. Well, I am an experienced mage, otherwise, get in trouble, maybe stuck there. Secret? I'm here to uncover the secrets of the past, so I'm not chat about others. This. Okay. And my trade? Leader of this resident explorative force here in Kemel-Ze. We have a regular contact with the Hellnim quarters. You just said you haven't had. But otherwise, we're pretty much our own down here. It's a lonely place, but fascinating one. How lonely? No. It's my job to ensure that as many as the remaining mysteries can be found in Imperial hands, but to find something worthy of gracing the shelves of Cyrodiil City, city's famed museum. Well, wouldn't we all? What are you reading?
Yes, what is it?
Relics, Fire, and Faith. You know, I've read a few things myself in the past on the Dwemer. Huh. Not a bad collection, I suppose.
Stay out of trouble and you won't get hurt.
Oh, okay. Right, this is how this works. Hello, Roland. What do you do? You're a 7th. Okay. I'm going to try not to disturb society members. We all have a job to do here. What is your job then? You're an agent helping the society around the ruins here. I know how to protect myself and my machinery, and all the tricks of squeezing through narrow tunnels and collapsed caverns. That's something that Karish isn't particularly going to be doing that much. Okay. Down here then. Oh. Ah, ladder. Marvellous. I wonder if we can find somewhere. Alright. We're not going to give up that easily. Although it does seem that this place is completely free from danger, apart from Skywatch Gallery. That door that we can't pick, which is so annoying. Will this be the observatory that was mentioned in the book? Maybe. Looks like it. So we've at least got that much. Ah, another one. Come to gaze at this rather brilliant construction. Well, I've seen one before, you know. An adventurer. I get the feeling you are too. Looter is what less appreciative call us, but there's some great ability in the adventurous trade, I feel. Yeah, I wouldn't say Karish called himself a looter at all. Like, everyone's done everything they can here.
Wealth beyond measure, Outlander.
That was Skywatch Gallery. We've sorted that one. We need some sort of like cheap thing we can put down as a marker. I had the brief thought just a little while ago, actually, while recording this episode, that a strong character who could carry such things could maybe use... I suppose you could use arrows, couldn't you? But I was thinking like a dagger. Put daggers on the floor, like where you've been. Because they could also act as arrows. Like pointy arrows rather than the weapon, but, you know. Maybe we find somewhere a little out the way. Yeah, everything's been everything's been sort of explored, apart from, of course, that one door. That's somewhere no one else has been, apparently. Or maybe someone's been in there and put that mechanism in there. Hello? Yeah, so you're just... this is your little area. Right then. Well, there's obviously no danger. Obviously. Okay, yeah, no danger at all. Wow. The work that's gone into this. The fans, wow. You know, the fans are still going. I still haven't found... Ooh. Ah, excellent. Alright, well that's something to bear in mind if we ever get bored of this. I wonder what this used to be. Obviously, maybe some sort of forge. We need to get an open spell, Karish, and I think that door will definitely inspire him to do so. Get a screenshot of this somehow. It's just difficult to, you know, get a decent one because it's so vast. Taking pictures while we're here. I guess we are a tourist. I keep sort of looking upwards. There might be some sort of hidden area somewhere. If there is something to find here, not going to be easy, is it? And that's fair enough. That is fair enough, because, like I said, generations of looters, nothing new has been found here for about 20 years. I don't know when that book was written. I might say at the top, actually. Have a look at it again. No, there's no date on it. So we don't know. Be overjoyed if we do find an enemy, because that'll mean, you know, that we've gone somewhere new, but it's not going to happen, is it? Getting deeper underground, though. But again, Karish isn't particularly fearful right now. He's not really thinking that he's going to run into any trouble. And to be fair, we probably won't. And the advice was that you need intervention. We've got like a recall spell to get out, and we do have intervention scrolls. It is pretty easy to get back, you know, to find a shrine. Thinking about it though, isn't it? Because we've got the one in Helnim or whatever it's called. Ancient guardians have been well and truly taken care of, though if you are going to find something, Karish, it's probably going to be in a place like this. Ooh. This. Like, I don't know, maybe the outside of a tower? Has someone broken into that one? But we're letting our fatigue go down on purpose type thing because Karish is, yeah, not particularly feeling like there's any danger here at all. We're just looking around for the sake of doing it, really. And so we can marvel at the work that's gone into the mod. If there's anything around there. We'll get Boney to dig that out for a couple of weeks, but I don't think we have time for that. Especially, you know, one thing that's come of this at least is that it's passed enough time for our stronghold to be updated. But just think, you know, if we do find something new in here that no one else has found before, I am definitely going to invest in an open spell. Ooh, to well, that's intriguing. Yes, of course. Hello. Getting that door towards the entrance, really. And if anything, this really, you know, cements that Karish wants to get more servants and stuff, so that maybe he can come back with his own expedition. Completely lost now. It doesn't really matter because we've got like a point of reference where we can just you know, return to the start again. And I think he's getting a bit excited. I don't think we've been in here, have we? How big this whole area is, and again there's a guard there, so we don't have to worry about anything. So it is a little bit... Yeah, I know. Goblets here and stuff. Maybe this bit is slightly less explored than the rest of it. Getting neat though, isn't it? You know, I like how they've mixed the Ooh. Ooh. Oh! Okay. Okay. Haven't we just read about this? Yes, we have. Yeah, I've just read about this, so somebody discovered this. Oh, well, this dude. That dude here. This dude. This is all about this. Blockage was much worse than I thought, but then came in, had some eagerness, went through, passed these to a new level, blah blah blah. Very large area. Mechanical men. The heads have been virtually removed and placed at the floor of their feet. Some of them have been destroyed in the fight, so everything that dude wrote about was true. But I do wonder where the where the automation actually is. It should be in a corner. Maybe they moved it since. That would make sense. So glad I found this though. And they have these. Ancient art, I suppose. Strange things to find in Dwemer. There he is. I don't know, I wouldn't even want to guess what they were. Looks like there's any chambers up there that can reach by levitating. Maybe up there though. I'm surprised they haven't widened that hole a little bit, you know, since the first time it was excavated. Don't you worry, I'm going to mess with the levers. I highly doubt that no one's touched those levers before, you know, but... I'm going to get a screenshot of this place as well. Kind of a spoiler that I make it this far, but... on my way out, I shall turn around and do that. Unless I get distracted by what I'm about to do now. Will not move. It will not move. Damn it! Probably because that's broken up there. I don't think you'll be able to interact with these. Damaged in the fight with the big automaton thing. I don't think there's too much we can do about that, really. It is just broke. Besides, it seems to feed... I'm stuck. Not moving. Help! I'm supposed to go up here, are you? I'll see if I stop in 30 seconds. If I can move in 30 seconds after it runs out. It seems to go into the back of these if it's to power these rather than that. Because that one's broken as well. Okay, that worked. Damn it. Oh, I couldn't really help that. I couldn't move. Yeah, it does look like it is because that is broken. And it doesn't look like there's something we can fix, really, is it? You know, I mean, shoot a fireball down the pipe or something. You know, there's nothing coming out of that one. Hey. Right, we'll give ourselves a heal. Very cool though that we found this. Very cool. So because this is relatively newly discovered, there may well be other bits, and yes, this is going to be a longer episode to take into account the reading. And maybe there's something somewhere that someone has missed. Maybe not. Alright, so what we're going to do is I think we'll teleport out. Get some divine intervention on the go. It's so humiliating when it fails. We're in London, that's good. But the chapel isn't in there. It's in this. It's in here. One of these rooms. It could be this main one. I think. Actually, maybe this. Is it this one? It's this one. I got such a good memory. I don't know if you know anyone who does spell making. I have to go back to mainland for that. That's as easy as it is to get our Magicka back. So ugh. I can't remember there being any mages around here. Go there, and there's a Crusader thing, a pawnbroker, Smith's militia headquarters. There's of course the Telvanni. Healer. None of them. I don't know if any of them actually do. Spell making, so it's probably just easier to go back to the mainland and stuff. I just don't know where exactly I am now. Wait a minute. Where? Okay, check the map. Just save a bit of time. Where am I? Oh, this way. I need to rest really as well. And eat. I haven't done that this episode. Just really keen to get this open spell out the way so it's not an issue anymore. I'm sure our alteration is high enough now. Our alteration is 58. That's plenty. We'll go back to the mainland. We'll do some spell making. And we'll go back in. Kemel-Ze. I should have done the... Oh god, here we go again. I could always levitate out of this. But it's training my athletics. Should have done the recall spell at the entrance of Kemel-Ze, not where I was before. I was excited. What can I say? Yeah, you do spell making, do you? But I think the Mages Guild might like me a bit more. Do one of you lot do spell making? Chanting? Spell making? Okay. And you like me, yeah. So, open spell. On touch. No, not 500. That's a bit much. 100. Oh. Oh, that's more than we have. That's more than we have. Is it? Which god have we got? Wish it would tell you. Oh, we do have some other stuff to sell. We can't afford it. Inconceivable. Really annoying, you know? How dare these things get in my way? Alright. Take me to Almora. 1600. 1600. Suddenly I don't have enough gold for stuff, and that's just truly annoying. Right. How much for this? Is that it? Alright. Dispel on target has had its uses in the past, but probably won't anymore. I really want to get into that stupid goddamn that door. Restore health, never used it. Recall? Amulet of recall. Can't say I'll never need it, right? Just agility. If I look in security. Sorry, Caius. You've only got 85? Dagnabbit. Right, let's go and rest. And hope that somehow maybe
Yes,
you have some
Outlander.
more gold tomorrow. Oh, guys, not even... It's 11 AM. I can't even rest. Right, you. I can't sell the soul gem to you. But I can sell all this stuff, this other stuff. Right, you. Hang on, how much? I hear a joke. Okay, hang on just a minute. How is your wife? Asked Zan Ither. She's in bed with laryngitis, replied Harlieth. Is that the Igonian bastard back in town again? Okay, so yeah, that was what the stupid thing was. A joke. Frenzy. Karish's wit, yeah, charisma. Yeah, you like that, didn't you? You liked that. That was a good joke. Okay, so you have 900. Right, let's get rid of the dire flame bolt thing and that, and the nimblest thing in Caius's ring, and the wizard's eye, not the robe. Ooh, I forgot about this. Levitate, I'm keeping. Restore health, I'm getting rid of because I never use it. I'm keeping that. And divine intervention. Well, I don't need 2 escapist things, do I? Recall will probably be more useful. So we'll get rid of we'll get rid of the amulet of divine intervention. But that's my only. I don't have the spell yet, do I? So I'll tell you, we'll just 750. Is that going to be enough? Is that I won't have any gold left, but you know, Karish just finds gold. Doesn't really matter. And
May I help you, Outlander?
right, then we'll get back there, and then we'll get back to Kemel-Ze, and we'll open that door, and we'll find out what's in it. Oh, cool, and find out dandy and stuff. Hello. Yeah, you really like me. Okay, spell making. Spell making. Open. Open. Untouch. 90. Skeleton key. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's that done. That's that out the way. Right then. So now we're gonna recall. Recall. Then we actually just gonna. Go! We'll just assume that we rested on the boat. And yeah, it looks like this is the way to the actual entrance up here. Floating trees. Hey, it's Morrowind, it's allowed. Or at least it was. Yes. Yeah, this is looking a bit more promising. Still a bit rickety, but yeah, it's going to the right place, isn't it? Right then. Well, I might even find that other bloke as well. Set mark here. Set mark here. Okay. Right, yeah, we can totally find it again. We can absolutely find it again, no problem at all. Okay, yeah, I know where I'm going. And I know Karish hasn't eaten this episode. It's been quite an oddly paced affair. I don't know whether to persist with Kemel-Ze or whether we should go back to our stronghold thing. I guess the stronghold thing would work, and then we have to come back. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Next episode, I'm going to update the because I can get back to Sadrith more easily enough, can I? All right then. We're gonna wait here. Yeah, so next episode, once I've been done with this room, we'll probably head back to South of Mora again. And I've got these to sell as well, so it's not too bad as far as money is concerned. But anyway, let's go back to South of Mora, go and see that woman about my stronghold. It wouldn't really fit in this episode anyway, because this is all about Kemel-Ze. And then probably come back here. Depends what you guys kind of know. Do any of you know about this place? Yep, see, that dude's seen me. It's actually a dude, though. Alright, alright, alright. Well, that's good, I suppose. 17% chance. Oh, I didn't think of that. They've rebalanced that a little bit, haven't they? But the robe of alteration fortifies it a little bit. No, wrong frickin'. God damn, there's a lot of magicka. I'm getting in there. Damn it. I am getting in there. The robe of alteration fortifies it 5%. So now it is up to... Skeleton key. 30, okay. Quite a big difference. Okay, well, it's okay, we got lots of these. When do they last? Might take a little while. Back to 18. Ah, come on. They've really made it difficult to get into this, haven't they, with these mods? Okay, there we go. Okay, and we'll have the last one. Someone in there doesn't like me. Spike! Nice! Don't know what that is. I don't know if Scaly can actually do anything at this point. Spike's sort of better be worth it in there. Better be worth it. Stop blocking! Stop blocking! Nice! Well done. Right then. I will look to find something new. Well, these are new. Well, the Dwarven Longsword's definitely new. I hadn't seen one of them before. Shield, I'm not so sure about. Taking that. But there. That will more than likely be gone by the time we get back, I'd imagine, so that was kind of pointless. Ooh. Icky. But just out of curiosity, I'm just going to see what's on it. Usual kind of stuff. Actually, I think katana, but Karish wouldn't touch it, so it's a shame because I could do with that. Okay, suddenly we're in somewhere that might be new, might be all new and different. Might save this for next week, though. It could be an anticlimax. Could be just like 2 rooms with nothing in them. That's the thing in Morrowind. I just want to... Notes! I just want to keep playing. Oh, I need those, don't I, for things, apparently. Now then. This is just for, yeah, so I can just use this key. Can't, I don't have any souls to... Oh, no, I do. I do, because I didn't sell this, because I'm so smart. I am so smart. What? Thanks. Oh. Karish will find something in here that no one else has found before. It is a sudden mission. You know what? He can just kind of like this, because it's obviously somewhere that's relatively undiscovered, because there was that Centurion there. And that door's been locked for ages, and we've just happened to unlock it, which is nice. No one knows we've unlocked it. So what we can do is we can close it and then lock it, and then just with like a locked level 10, but no one will know that, you know, we'll just assume it's the way it's always been. So therefore this is now ours. So yeah, we can have our own little camp in here and stuff. Why am I exploring? I think actually I've discovered everything. But shame there's nothing awesome in here, but I have found something that might be useful. And maybe somewhere that's all secluded and stuff. Alright, let's open this as well. Not that! Yeah, we didn't override it, actually. Another longsword. I'll actually put this longsword in there. Which, yeah, and that sort of things would have been taken if they'd have been discovered before. Another one. Damn it! Damn all these locked stuff. Yeah, terrible pacing, because what I should have done is said, right, we'll be back next time to explore this, and there'll be nothing to explore, but even so, it would have brought people back, and now everyone knows there's nothing here, so no one's going to watch the next episode. Okay, I think we are done in this little area, but that was pretty neat, and we have got our own little area of Kemel-Ze that there's definitely no one else in. There's a dead adventurer, which I might actually take the time to off him. I might get Bonnie to get it for me or something, you know. Because it's worth quite a lot of money. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see you next time what happens, but I will go back to the I should set my mark spell here. We'll go back to the mainland and go and see about our stronghold. There might be a quest associated with that, or it might just be a random update saying, yeah, it's planted, now we can start building stuff, whatever. I'm going to set my mark spell here. And I'll be back next time for more exploring Kemel-Ze and or Telvanni stronghold building, whichever happens. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Until then, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Toodaloo.